British heavy armour stored at Sennelager in Germany now heading east. As the Ukraine crisis simmers, Britain is doubling its presence in Estonia.
I think it's very serious. I think the potential for an invasion of Ukraine would destabilise Eastern Europe. And I think we are clearly prepared as the British Army to react in whatever way it should be required. But we shouldn't underestimate just how important this is.
The force that will add to Estonian operations, the 1 Royal Welsh battle group.
There's a lot of excitement and also probably a little bit of trepidation. They're young battle group. I would say probably about 80 to 90% weren't even born at the time of the end of the Cold War. So a lot don't understand the context, but they get the sense of excitement and the sense of importance of what they're doing.
The so-called Welsh Warriors have always been best placed to reinforce Estonia, already in Germany and training in Sennelager, initially to take over from a NATO battle group led by the Royal Tank Regiment. Instead, now joining it and off to the Baltic State ahead of schedule.
It certainly adds a little more edge and certainly a little bit more tension to the situation, but otherwise there's no change to the NATO mission. We're there in a defensive context only. We're there to defend the security and the integrity of the Baltic states.
The expanded British Estonia commitment comes as no surprise. During weeks of intensive training in Germany, soldiers had heard the news. Growing fears of Russia attacking Ukraine, NATO deciding to bolster its eastern flank, Britain offering to double the number of troops in the region. It had all pointed to an earlier than expected deployment.
I think people are more prepared now to think that they're going to go early, and so I think it wouldn't be a problem for anyone.
We've been trying to keep up with the news and that lot, and getting down brief from like the higher ranks, and it does feel like it could happen, and if it does, we are, I would say we're prepared for it all.
Especially the engineers, we're ready, so we've got all our training done out here. We've got one more phase out here left to do, so yeah, we're pretty much ready to go.
A base in Germany has made it easier for British troops to reach Eastern Europe, a place to conduct final training and somewhere to pick up pre-positioned vehicles and armour.
Moving any large number of armoured vehicles brings with it some complexity, but we've been doing this for many, many years. That's exactly why we've established the NATO forward holding base in Sennelager, to allow us to be able to react much more quickly, unencumbered by the frictions that exist through getting vehicles across the English Channel.
It's 18 months since the Royal Welsh began training for Estonia, before Kremlin demands for NATO to evacuate Eastern Europe, and long before Russian forces massed on Ukraine's border.
I absolutely recognise that the unpredictable situation in which we find ourselves in is a worrying time. It presents worries for families and soldiers alike. But that is the nature of the business that we're in. We'll do everything we possibly can to make sure that their soldiers are kept as safe as we possibly can, but that is what we train for.
And as the 1 Royal Welsh battle group begins an expanded Estonian operation, a message from the commander.
Have confidence, have some swagger. They've been training for a long time and they're ready for this. So although it is a very significant time and it might be strategically very important, they're ready for it.
Rob Olver, Forces News, Sennelager in Germany. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.